relatively windy today. To be honest, not more windy than it usually is, but not as calm as it sometimes is either. So I hope that I can be heard. And I know nobody's here right now, but as people come in, I guess you will let me know if I cannot be heard. If I can't be heard, then I'll do what I usually do, which is just remake the video later. But, excuse me, let me get some of that, some more of that sea air in my nose. Hey, can you hear me okay? Sierra? I don't know why I'm sneezing, but I'm going to breathe in a little more salt water to clear my nostrils out since that sneeze came up. That means I got some excess mucus in there. But I wanted to talk about playing small and being invisible and pretending that you're less than you are. I wanted to talk about that a little bit today. The water is rolling. How are you? The water's rolling and it's coming up. So if it gets all the way up here to my feet, y'all will see me have to jump up and move back a little bit. I'm trying to avoid the seaweed, the sargassum, because it's not my favorite thing. So we are in motion. Like this live is taking place as a part of life. Somebody was complaining about one of my lives one time when I was in the kitchen cooking, and she was asking, "Can you cut down on the background noise in the kitchen cooking?" No, I can't. So today is another one of those days. Like we're in the real world. Real shit is happening. I can't cut down on no background noise. I can't give y'all no pretty holographic background or nothing like that. But I think the ocean is beautiful. I think the house is about to see a beautiful. I think the sun is beautiful. So, yes. Well, you think I'm fine? You ought to see my mother. You ought to see my grandmother. I am but a blip of what the real ones look like. Well, I pay homage to their mighty gene pool. All right. I'm going to stand up just so we can see. I'm not in front of Oprah's house. Her house is down there. That's where I usually make my lives, just so that everybody can feel inspired, right? But if you can see a little bit of it right there. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna turn my back just because people be walking by and looking all down at themselves. But what I want to talk about is playing small. Nobody is born playing small. You are not born playing small. You know, I have 6 children. All praises, all blessings. I am fruitful. The women in my family are fruitful. That is one of the blessings that I received. That is one of the blessings I inherited. And so I have 6 children. And I know from being a mother that nobody is born playing small. Nobody is born like that. Children love to be seen and they love to be heard. That doesn't mean that every child is loud. That doesn't mean that every child is boisterous. But children love to be seen and heard. And what I have found in my 53 years of life on this beautiful planet that my ancestral mothers created so many millennia ago is that we don't change from that little girl self. We're not different, right? A lot of what we call maturing is becoming jaded. A lot of what we call maturing is taking on the social structures that we're born into. But we don't really change from that little girl self. So it is not human nature to play small. That's not human nature. That is something that is forced upon you, right? When we talk about black women, which is who I'm always talking about, because it's who I am and it's how I live and it's the origin and the source of everything. So I be talking about it. Because to me, ain't nothing more important to talk about. But when it comes to black women, we notoriously play small. We notoriously play small. Matter of fact, we play smaller than anybody else. I ain't never seen nobody play as small as us. And we shame those of us among us who refuse to play small, right? As black women, part of our culture is to shame the black women who refuse to play small, right? I was told my whole life, and this was an insult, you think you cute. And I do. And I never understood how that was an insult. How is it insulting to me for me to think I'm cute? Right? You think you cute. Right? That's what I mean. Culturally, as black women, we are groomed, if you will, to play small. The playing small is forced upon us. There are many times in our community when you look like you are feeling your full self, when you look like you are fully in your body, when you look like you are completely in your body and completely present and trying to fully embrace and have the experience of life, that you are chopped down, right? That is the norm in the black community. And we know all the reasons that that's the norm. I am not putting the responsibility of this on the little children or the young people who said those things to me. I'm not putting the responsibility on them. We know the many myriad reasons that that's the norm. We know that the society that we live in is anti-black and anti-woman. And therefore, as a black woman, you are the thing that it is most anti. You are the least considered thing in this society. Let me put it like that. And so, to be honest, it makes people angry when you don't play small. Everyone around you is angry when you don't play small. And I don't care who they are. I don't care what their relationship is to you. People become angry when you don't play small, right? And some people are just angry for a little while, and then they join you. And some people have not been playing small. So if they themselves have not been playing small, then many times they can skip over that anger. But sometimes even other people who have not been playing small are still angry with you for not playing small. Because even though they believe that they are entitled to not play small, they don't think that a black woman like you gets to not play small. So even other people who are not playing small will sometimes be angry with you when you stop playing small. Well, one of the things that we have been taught that is a lie is that if we play small, we will be protected, right? If we're not our full selves, if we're not fully in our bodies, if we don't go and grab and get the things that we desire the most, if we don't stand up for and act like and live in the fullness of what we know we're worth, we are told and taught and socialized to believe that if we don't do that, we will be safe. Many of us suffered all types of harm when we were children. Many of us suffered emotional harm. Many of us suffered physical harm and harm to our bodies, to our little girl bodies, right? And that harm terrified us to the point that we played small, right? And that is normal. It's normal to want to sink into yourself after trauma, right? That's normal. Nothing is abnormal about that. Nothing is being, that's not something that's being superimposed on you. That's a normal reaction to trauma, right? However, in our seeking to be healed from those traumas, seeking to be healed from the harm and hurt that we received, we fall into the belief system that the reason that we were hurt is because we weren't playing small enough. The reason that we sustained whatever harm we sustained, certain words you can't use on YouTube, so I'm trying to speak all around those words in the hopes that I will still be understood. But the reason that those things happened to us was because we weren't playing small. It was because we were too big, we were too loud, we were too much in our bodies. We were loving ourselves too much. We were thinking that we were too cute. We were feeling powerful and empowered. We were feeling too powerful and too empowered, and therefore harm came to us. So many times we believe that, and that keeps us in a space of playing small. But I'm here to tell you that what playing small does is it actually keeps you in, it makes you a target. Playing small makes you a target. Playing small is not what keeps you safe. It is what makes you a target. Okay? Nobody, not your mama, not your children, not the partner you have that deeply loves you, not your friends, not your students, not your godchildren, not your godparents. Nobody in this entire universe is ever going to reward you for playing small. As much as they love you, as much as they care about you, as much as they want you to have everything that you need, nobody is going to reward you for playing small. When you play small, people assume that you are small. And what I mean by that is people assume, oh, well then she doesn't need that. Oh, well then she doesn't require that. Oh, well then that's not something that I should do for her. That's not something that I have to do for her. That's not the kind of person that I have to be for her. That's not an accommodation that I have to make for her. People assume that when you play small. Nobody says, oh, she's playing small, so let me give her something big. Nobody's going to do that. Most people's minds are not capable of doing that. And as a matter of fact, it's very difficult if you're constantly playing small for other people to look at you and see beyond that and see your actual needs. So if you're always playing small, people are going to believe that that is who you actually are. You know that it's a game. You know that it's something that you're pretending to be. Nobody else knows that. Everyone else is looking at you and thinking that that is you, and thinking that you require less, and thinking that you want less. What you think you're doing is being so accommodating that people will want to give you more. What you think you're doing is being so accommodating that people will want to not hurt you. What you think you're doing is being so accommodating that people will want to protect you. That is not true. To be completely honest, I don't believe that that is human nature, right? This ground is down here under my feet. So because it's under my feet, then I believe that it wants me to walk on it. See the ground? See my feet? It won't let me flip the phone. So my belief, because it has laid down under my feet, is that it wants me to walk on it. That's what I believe about the ground, because of where it is, because of where it's positioned. I don't know ecological circumstances. Because I'm not an ecologist. Y'all gonna hear me say forever, I'm not a scientist, I'm an artist. I don't know the ecological circumstances that causes this sand to be under my feet. I can guess at it, but I don't know. But I'm assuming because it is here under my feet that it wants to be walked on. And that is a natural assumption. And by natural, what I mean is that's what follows when you see that. By the same token, if you always laying yourself out on the ground for others, if you always spreading yourself out for others, then they're going to assume that there's a part of you that wants to be walked on. And they're going to walk on it, right? And you can't, on the back end, blame them. You can't be like, well, why did they walk on me? Because you laid down in front of them. You laid down in front of them. That's why they walked on you. So playing small doesn't keep you safe. Playing small makes you a victim. If you've gone through hurt and harm, and it makes you feel like that you should stay small and stay on the ground and degrade yourself and pretend to be less than you are, then seek some therapy. Seek some professional help so that your mind can come out of that way of thinking. So that you will be able to stand up and have an expectation that people are not going to walk on you. And so most importantly, when people assume that they can walk on you because of the way you look, because of the body that you were born into, because of your economic circumstances, because of your social circumstances, because of how many children you have or how many times you've been married or not married, when people assume that's the kind of person I can walk on and they come to that conclusion about you, your mind has to be set in such a way that you don't allow that. But for most of us, after having been hurt or harmed, we need professional help to get our minds back to those places. We are born not expecting to be walked on or hurt or harmed. You ever tried to take something from a child that they want? You ever try to make a child go somewhere that they don't want to go? You ever try to make a child do something that they don't want to do? You see how strong their will is? See how strong their will is set towards what it is that they want? That's how we're born. That's what it means to be human. And so if instead of being like that dogged and that determined towards what it is that you want, if instead of being like that, you are laying yourself down as a mat for others and believing that if I let people walk on me, they will then turn around and give me what I need. If that's what you're doing, then you're the person that this video is for. Playing small does not keep you safe, right? The only thing that keeps you safe is your own commitment to being safe. The only thing that keeps you safe is your own entitlement to safety. Woo! I'm full of mucus, y'all. Hold on. Breathing some more of this sea air. It's to help that salt. It's help bringing that mucus out. But that's what keeps you safe. What keeps you safe is your entitlement to safety. What keeps you safe is somebody trying to put you in a position that's unsafe. And you saying, wait, that don't seem safe. No, I'm not going to do that. Somebody trying to get you to do something that may be dangerous or harmful for you. And you saying, oh, that seems like that might be dangerous or harmful. No, I'm not going to do that. You ever hear stories of how bad, terrible things happen to people and you wonder what they did to be in the position for the bad, terrible thing to happen? Not always, but sometimes you're like, oh my God, next time just don't go. Oh my God, next time just don't be there. But what happens with people is, after having sustained hurt, they stop listening to that internal part of themselves that says, this is not going to be safe for you. They stop believing that they're entitled to safety. So you have to get that professional help to get your mind back to the point of being entitled to safety. So you're entitled to safety. That's the base. That's the baseline. But have you ever paid attention to how many people get angry when black women say they're entitled to safety? When black women say that they deserve to live places where gunfire is not the norm, and when black women go out of their way to live their lives in such a way that they're not in unsafe environments, that them and their children or whoever else they're responsible for are not in unsafe environments. Do you see how many people get angry about that? Do you see how many people want black women to stay in a position that is prone? Right? Prone. Do you remember that? That was Kwame Ture, right? When asked if women had a position in the revolution, when asked if black women had a position in SNCC in the beginning of the Civil Rights Revolution, he said the only position for a black woman in the revolution is prone. Prone means lying down on your back. He was referring to being sexually available. That's what he was referring to. But when I'm using the term right now, what I'm saying to you is that's still the expectation for you. The expectation is that your position in the world is prone. Your position is being that thing that people can walk on. Your position is being that stepping stone that raises other people higher. And when you have the audacity to feel entitled to something else, when you have the audacity to feel entitled to less work, when you have the audacity to feel entitled to safety, when you have the audacity to feel entitled to beautiful, calm, peaceful, warm surroundings, people are mad. People are angry because the world is built on black women remaining prone. Playing it small is never safe. You are manipulating other people and you're manipulating yourself. That's what you're doing when you're playing small. I know black women. I'm a black woman in this lifetime. I was a black woman in the last lifetime. I come from a family full of black women. I gave birth to a house full of black women. I lived in a dorm full of black women. So I've lived in places full of black women my whole life. I run a business that is mostly sustained and patronized, or matronized, we should say, by black women. So I know black women, right? In our inner core, we don't believe that we are the least of them. In our inner core, that's not what we believe about ourselves. So when I watch us playing small, or when I hear us saying degrading things about ourselves, I know that's a game. That's a game you playing with yourself. That's a manipulation tactic that you are using on yourself and on others, right? You believe that if you play small enough, you will manipulate other people into treating you like your full self. That's what you believe. You believe that if you play small enough, that people will feel so much pity for you that they will then treat you as a human being. That's what you believe. You believe that if you play small enough, that people will begin to believe that you are worthy of their love and that you are worthy of their affection and their attention. That's why you're playing small. You're not playing small because you actually in your core think that you're small. You know how badass you are. We all doing the same thing all day, every day. We are all manifesting our realities all day, every day. Black women are the master manifestors. We are the ones that manifest this whole thing. We manifested this whole thing. The ancestral mothers are the creatresses of this whole thing through manifestation. And we know that. We know that. We know we manifesting the whole thing. We know that it's been times when we didn't know how we was gonna eat. It's been times we didn't know how we was gonna pay a bill, and we spoke on it, and it came to be. It's been times when we didn't know where we was gonna lay our head, and we spoke on it, and it came to be. We know that. That's not unbeknownst to us. And you can clap your hands and get excited when you hear me say it, but I know you well enough to know that you know it. So when you play small, when you pretend that you're not powerful, when you pretend that you believe that unsafe neighborhoods are where you're supposed to live, when you pretend that you believe that in unsafe relationships is where you are supposed to be and where your home is and what you are worthy of, when you pretend that you believe that you don't get to live the life of your dreams, I know that you don't really feel that way. You are trying to manipulate the situation by playing small. I see you. I see you. And so I'm going to tell you today that the universe is a system of authenticity. That's what the universe is. This is a system of authenticity. That's how this is created. That's how this is sustained. That's how this can be. It's a system of authenticity. So it will not be until you are authentic with yourself that you're going to get the results that you expected from the beginning. It's only when you're authentic with yourself that you're going to get those results, that you're going to be where you want to be, that you're going to have the resources that you need to have, that you're going to get the love and the care and the attention that you know that you need, and that you are going to get to fully experience life as you made yourself to experience it. You created yourself to experience this life to the fullest. I made myself to be walking with my feet in some partially wet sand. I made this body to do that. I'm fully aware. That's not ever, never have I ever believed since I walked in wet sand by the ocean in the tropics. Never have I ever believed that that's not exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Never. I knew I made this body to do this thing, right? But I never was able to get to this while I was busy playing small. I was never able to get to this or stay with it, sustain it, live in it, have it as my everyday reality until I stopped that lie and that manipulation tactic of playing small. The universe can't be manipulated. The universe can be influenced because you are it and it is you. But you can't manipulate the universe by pretending to be less than you are. It does not work. It does not work. And I ain't got to tell you it don't work because you sitting right there right now knowing that it don't work. Right? That ain't news to you. You aware of that. But I'm coming with the message today to let you know that what puts you right where you want to be is playing full, playing big, being completely you in every situation, and as big and as bold and as loud as you can. Knowing your worth and always charging that or more. Right? And when I say charge your worth, I mean how much does it cost to get your attention? How much does it cost to have a moment of your time? Right? Does it have to be a nice dinner? Does it have to be uplifting and stimulating conversation? Does it have to be care, consideration, and concern? Is that what it costs to get your attention? How much does it cost? Your attention ain't free. It ain't never been free. And when you're pretending to freely give it away, that's a lie. That's a game. That's a manipulation tactic. Right? So stop. Be authentic with the universe. Be authentic in this moment. Be authentic with yourself. Right? If you want to live in a house by the sea, then quit pretending that you want to live somewhere else. If you want to be in a place where the sun shines on your face every day, then quit pretending that you want to be somewhere else. Quit pretending that there's something for you somewhere else. Stop playing that game. It does not work. Right? If you've had a divination with me, I'm going to end on this point. If you've had a divination with me, you've heard me say this before. This analogy that I'm about to give you, you've heard me give it before. But my baby, who many of you know, you watched her grow up here on YouTube and on social media, is 14. She just turned 14, right? And so if I sent her to your house to stay, and she came into your house and she said, Auntie, I'm hungry, then you are going to think and say, okay, I know she's vegan, she's vegetarian. Okay, let me go make her a veggie burger. Oh, that's right, they got that gluten allergy. Let me put a veggie burger on a gluten-free bun and make her some french fries, right? Because she's a 14-year-old girl, right? That's what you're going to make. Unless you're Caribbean. If you're Caribbean, you're going to say, let me make she some doubles with a little bit of peas and rice, okay? So either one, right? If you're Nigerian, you're going to say, let me get the baby some egusi and eba, right? Whatever your cultural thing is. When you hear a baby say they hungry, Auntie, I'm hungry, then you're going to fix the thing that you think that baby can eat, right? And Nubia is going to come down to your table, and none of those meals that I just described is Nubia going to eat. Nubia does not particularly care for veggie burgers. Nubia hates most gluten-free bread, and she's not a big fan of fries. Nubia does not like doubles. I know it's a shame. It's a shame. Who can believe it? But she doesn't like doubles, right? And Nubia is not too fond of eba and egusi, right? Believe it or not, right? But if Nubia came to you and was authentic, and instead of just saying, I'm hungry, she said, Auntie, can I have a Beyond Burger, because that's the only veggie burger she's going to eat. No bread, with some ketchup and mustard on it and some pickles on the side. And can I make myself a little salad to go on the side? If she said that, then you want to know exactly what she wants. She's not playing a game with you and hoping that by rolling the dice, she gets what she wants. She's being exact with you. She's being clear with you. So you're going to give her exactly what she wants. If she's in the West Indies, if she's in the Caribbean, and she says, Auntie, can I have a veggie roti with bora, right? Little things that look like green beans. They call it bora. It's not green beans, but it look like green beans. They call it bora in the Caribbean. She said, I want veggie, I want veg, provisions, and bora in a dal puri roti. Then you can give her exactly what she wants, right? She's being authentic. She's being clear. You're going to give her exactly what she wants. It's not just her saying, I'm hungry. It is her saying, I need to eat, and in this situation, I want this, right? If she's in West Africa and she says, Auntie, I want some cebuchin, right? Some fish, some steamed fish, and some rice and vegetables. That's what cebuchin is. Then you're going to give her some cheb, right? You're going to make cebuchin for her, right? You're not going to make eba and egusi if she comes and says, Auntie, I want cebuchin. So the point I'm trying to make, and the reason that I give analogies is that human beings don't remember you just sitting off lecturing. Human beings don't remember that. Our brains are not wired to remember that. But you ain't going to forget this story, right? This is why our ancestors taught in stories. This is why our ancestors taught in proverbs. Because the story you don't forget. And when you don't forget the story, then you hold the principle inside of you. So while you may not remember none of the rest of this lecture, you ain't going to forget the story of Nubia only eating cebuchin and dal puri roti and only Beyond Burgers with a salad. You ain't going to forget that, right? That means something to you, that you already have images in your mind attached to it. You ain't going to forget the story. So as you remember the story, I want you to remember that you too are the sweet baby girl of the universe. Just like my baby girl will be the sweet baby girl at your house. And so please be authentic. Don't play small hoping that by the roll of the dice you gonna get what you want. If what you want today is a salmon Caesar salad, then come and say, universe, I want a salmon Caesar salad. Don't say, oh, it's okay if you give me a tuna fish sandwich on white bread. That ain't what you want. And that's not what you worth. And that don't work for you. And it might make you sick. You might be allergic to it. That might make you nauseous. It's 10 million things that can happen when you lay down and accept a bunch of shit that you know is beneath you. 10 million horrible things can and will happen. Right? So be specific, be authentic, be completely in the moment, be big. Be as big as you are. Be as loud as you are. I am on this beach in this area. Not a lot of people of color live. So frequently when I come to this beach, which is my favorite one, because, Oprahs House is on it, I be the only person of color out here. So if I decide to go live on the beach, or whether I don't, sometimes I just be out here doing yoga, I become a curiosity. I become a novelty. I become something to be looked at and to be walked past real slow to see if they can pick up on what I'm talking about. Am I going to let keep me from doing what the hell I'm here to do? Not never. Not never. Am I going to pretend to be less for the sake of idiots and people who I don't even know and people who I probably ain't gonna never see again in life? Am I gonna pretend to be less for their sake? Not ever. I've done it. And I've suffered the consequences of it. For years and years, I suffered the consequences of playing small. So that's why I'm on here pleading with you not to do it. Don't even go that route. Play big. Play huge, as a matter of fact. Tell the universe I want to live in a house by the sea. That house. Right? In a monstrosity by the sea. I want to fall asleep at night to the sound of the sea rolling up. Be specific with the universe. Quit playing games. Quit playing small. Being small. Playing small is not safe. Playing small is never productive. Playing small is never ever gonna get you what you actually want. Because we don't know. Mama ain't got no way of knowing. Mama universe, if you tell her, if all you gonna say is I'm hungry, then she gonna bring you some food. That's all she got. That's all she got. You ain't being specific. You playing a game. You trying to manipulate the situation. Be specific. Be authentic. Be fully there and be fully yourself. Every single time you make a request. Specific, authentic, fully present, and fully saying exactly what you want. I could 2 ways I can tell my time is running out. I got a notification saying that my parking is about to expire, and yet my job is slowly creeping closer and closer, right? Beautiful ways of seeing that my time is running out. I love it. I love that for me. All right? But if you don't remember anything else about what I've said today, or about what I'm usually telling you in general, please remember that playing small only makes you a target. Playing small only keeps you in the victim status. Playing small only makes people walk on you. You continue to lay down like this sand, people are going to assume you are there to walk on. That's a natural assumption when we see something lying out in front of us. Stop playing small. You cannot manipulate the universe. You can only be authentic with the universe as part of the universe. Be authentic. Be fully you. Say exactly what it is that you want. All right. Ecstasy, abundance, bliss, and yes, of course, immeasurable darkness, as my goddaughter reminded. To all of those within the sound of my voice who are wishing the same for me and mine, ask for what you want from Mother Yemanja. Mama is on the main line. Tell her what you want. We talking right now about telling the universe what you want. This is Mama who is the source. Tell Mama what you want. Don't hold back. Be specific as the sweet baby girl of the universe in exactly what it is you need mama to bring from you. Everything we use to live life comes from the womb of mother. So I'm going to pause and let you look into the womb of mother and ask for what it is that you want in this moment. And don't you dare play small. Don't you waste my time. And don't you waste this life and this moment that you have with Yemanjah by playing small. Tell mama what you want. All right. Ecstasy, abundance, bliss, and all of the gifts and blessings of the water deities, specifically Ocean. Upon all of those within the sound of my voice who are wishing the same for me and mine. And we wish the lessons of life on those who are ignorant enough to wish us otherwise. You all enjoy your Saturday. Stay in this meditation. Go back to this moment as often as you need to. And remember that you have the entitlement to get exactly what it is that you want from life. All right, you guys. I'll see you in the next one.